I live on the north side of St. Louis, which is a very challenged community. And Melanie and I started talking about, well, it's really good to be affiliated with all of these national movements. Now that we've got the president elected, and she got the president elected, I'll tell you. There's such a thing as someone could will something into existence. Melanie willed Barack Obama into the presidency of the United States of America, and I am and Melanie said, I'm going to get you connected. And she got me connected, as you can see. I wear a purple scarf also. But one of the things that we started doing, Steve, Melanie, and myself and some other ladies, we started coming together. And Melanie, what was the #1 thing that wherever we met, it had to be close to public transportation. Yes. So we started meeting at Chiraci's on the Bolivar. And then it moved from there, and the meetings just kept going, and then it moved into our house. And we started meeting around the table and cooking and fellowshipping and learning more about each other, and first one thing and the other. And the only thing that I could do was just sit in a state of awe at Melanie Shouse. And her historical knowledge, and how she could take historical events and put them into today's time and make you understand that so clearly. And so she would always quote these different presidents and everything like that, and she would always tell me about Lincoln, and I grew up in Illinois, so I really felt ashamed. But she would tell me about Lincoln, and she would tell me that Barack was like a reincarnation of Lincoln and FDR and Kennedy, and she believed this so deeply that if you stayed around Melanie Shouse for very long, you didn't have to be around her long, you would be believing it too. So as the result of those kitchen table discussions, Melanie and I she was so committed to her group, the North County for Obama, and then once we started looking at North County and also looking at North St. Louis, we saw that the issues were seamless, and they just went across the board. And so she says, well, we have to do something where we can bring people together. And she says, I'm going to bring you and introduce you to some of the people with North County for Obama. And I said, okay. And so I just kept going along with it wherever she went. And then she told me about Women's Voices. And she says, I want you to come to this event. And I said, okay. And I was done. And before I knew it, I then found myself coming to this location right here for events. And then it was transportation. And then it was sustainable growth. And then it was just healthcare, her Project Heal, which she was so committed to. And I'm thinking in my mind, well, how can we bring all of these entities together where that we will be able to help? Because we need all of this. But her vision was just so wide and so universal that you had to try and put it in a silo to bring it all so that it could happen. And I don't care how weak Melanie was, I would get up at maybe 4 or 5:30 in the morning, and there would be an email from Melanie at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And the other day I went through my emails and I wanted to see how many emails that Melanie sent me, and it was over 1,200. She was my educator. And as the result of that coming together in those many meetings, we came up with an idea for an organization that was we called it Metro St. Louis Coalition for Inclusion and Equity. Because, and we call ourselves MSLICE. Because Melanie was so committed to making sure that communities that were disadvantaged, marginalized, that those communities were included in the decision-making process and that equitable development came to all of our communities, and that we would all have the opportunity to live in wholesome and holistic and communities where we have access to good food, and our communities are no longer food deserts. And she would make me up these mixes and have Steve to make me up tea mixes, and she would ensure that I would be drinking the teas and everything, because I went to the doctor and they told me my blood pressure was up a little bit and everything like that. And from that point, it was on. So I want to say that Melanie Shouse, for someone who was recently new to St. Louis, Melanie took me, and if there's such a thing of getting caught up in the rapture, Melanie caught me up in her rapture. And I'm here to stay. And we're going to continue, Mr. and Mrs. Shouse, to fight her battle. And we're going to make lots of changes in North St. Louis. We're going to make lots of changes in North County. That work has already begun. We've started looking to see how banks are making investments in our communities, and we found out that these banks have been redlining. Having a sustainable and creating a smart growth initiative that is going to be inclusive, because what the folks are doing tonight, Melanie was really up on environmental justice. And she introduced me to some things that I hadn't even paid attention to in my community and in North County as well. So we're going to take the fight to the next level. It is on.